What's happening, people? Uncle Nick here. And on my last video, you guys saw I was working up to a 3-rep max on front squats. Well, I have the same thing with overhead press. I'm taking a little break from the log in the program. I actually am working up to a 3-rep max on continental clean and press. I'm cleaning once, pressing away. I don't know where I'm gonna end up, actually. I'm hoping, high 2s, maybe 3. I just did my first, I just warmed up. I hit like 215 for a set of 3. And I will say I feel pretty dug in from Monday night's training. So I'm very curious to see where I will end up here, because 215 felt about like 265, but maybe it's because I'm still working up. I haven't got any substantial weight on me. Usually later in the sets, I feel much better. It's because I'm probably warmed up. But who knows where I'll end up. I'm just telling you what I'm hoping for, but we'll see what reality is. In between, I'm doing some other stuff with Giant Set work. I actually came up with a new way of doing weighted hanging leg raises. And when I get to that point, I'll explain to you guys on that. But for now, I'm gonna keep working up and doing my stuff in between, and we'll see where I end up. Also, this weekend coming up is the Lions State Classic. So, Brian, you'll be doing a video on that, right?
Yeah, what?
Lions State Classic?
Yes.
Yeah. So Brian will be doing a video on that. I'll probably do the whole road to the Lions State Classic like I did last year. And he'll do the video of the actual competition itself. So it should be interesting. Good events. It's always good people out there. Always a good crowd. So looking forward to that. We actually won't need a trailer this year, I don't think. We'll just be able to load everything up in the back of my truck. We're going to need some yokes and wagon wheels and stuff. It'll be cool. But so watch our channels for that later in the week. So that will be interesting. Because of that, I have to just fire my training. I'm going to have a 3-day back-to-back training week with today, tomorrow, and Friday. I do not miss scheduled training days if possible at all. I'll do whatever I can to get my training in no matter what, whether it's in another gym. I will at least do something, at least my strength work, at least the barbell movements. If I don't have access to strongman implements, I'll be doing it with barbells and things like that. So I do not miss my scheduled training even if there's other stuff on the menu. But let's get to working up here and see what happens. So that set was 275 pounds. Now that moved a little bit sluggish than it normally would for me, 275. Also, it's been a while since I did a continental clean and press, but still 275 pounds. It was just sloppy. My leg drive felt slow. That probably has a lot to do with Monday night's training session with the heavy front squats and the 80% deadlifts on the EMOM. I'm aware stuff's gonna be fatigue, but I'm still gonna keep driving upward to see where I land. That's not an excuse for me to cut it off short. What good would it do for me to cut it short on a weight I know I can do? So I'd much rather work up to something that's more of a gamble and really kind of test where that 3-rep max is. So I'm gonna add on some weight and see where I end up. the reality of continental clean and presses. You're gonna pinch some meat in there. Oh man, that's going a really wrong direction real quick. You're gonna pinch some tummy in there without a doubt, especially when you start getting heavier and the axe starts to slide down your stomach. It's gonna slide down and push like some skin or some fat, especially if you don't have like a big old power belly, like one of the big guys. If you're a guy like me that doesn't have a lot of shelf, it's gonna slide down and pinch a bunch of skin and stuff in between the belt, and it's not gonna tickle, but it's part of the game. So in case you're new to continental cleans, be prepared for that. With that being said, 300 for a triple. Because I think the last time I tested, I'm gonna come over here to my PR board. A lot of this is old, but I haven't tested my actual clean and press since I hit that 300. So I just hit my old PR for a triple on a clean and press away. So that's pretty exciting. Out of a rack on a split jerk, I think I've done like 325. My numbers are moving up. Now, if I could just get my deadlift and my squat to go as well as my press has been going, that's kind of like my give and take. When I run a program, my press will do great, and my deadlift or squat will kind of suffer for whatever reason. I can hit the rep work, it's just the testing days kind of don't go as well as I'd hoped. But then when my deadlift and squat days go well on another program, my overhead press seems to kind of lag a little bit. So it's a give and take. But all my numbers are currently still going up. So all my rep work and all my percentages are getting better and better. It's just my test days, either I'm a little too ambitious or there could be several reasons. But when I get down to the work, like the volume and stuff, everything is going well. I'm either going a little bit heavier or I'm getting more reps on the AMRAP set than I'm supposed to. So everything's going well. Now, I'm doing some giant set work. I'm doing arm over arm pulls, and Brian's doing Brian stuff. I'm also doing weighted leg raises, hanging leg raises, but I kind of switched it up and implemented some bands. And then I'm supposed to be doing battle ropes, but I'm using the one rope I typically use for battle ropes for my arm over arm. So I decided to take the chance of opportunity to get a little bit creative with maybe an alternative or something similar to a battle rope. And I use the band oh, get it together, dude. I'm just gonna sit down and talk to you guys because apparently walking around isn't doing well. I take the opportunity as a chance to kind of innovate and get a little creative with my training because that is always fun. I look forward to that. And it's not like I'm walking around constantly thinking about, what can I do for this? It's like when I start setting something up, an idea pops into my head and it's kind of spontaneous and like really impulsive and I'm like, let's try it. And probably I do a number of things that don't work and then get one thing that does. So I like both these options. So I'm gonna show you guys, maybe if you don't have access to ropes, or some sort of mechanism do weighted leg raises, maybe this will work for you guys. So let's get into it. As you can see, I did them a little bit different. I did it more of a strict, so not only did it work my back, but I get a little bit of core with it, kind of double tap my core exercise because like I said in my last video, my core needs to get stronger. So not only am I acting on that, but I'm finding different ways to use my core. So I do it strict, one arm at a time, trying to keep my core as tight as possible. Then I'm actually gonna go do the core stuff now. So initially I'm just gonna step in between it like this. One side, other side. So it can you'll kind of get a feel for it without an extreme degree of difficulty, whereas if you do both, it's obviously double the band tension. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to step inside one here, then I'm literally just going to jump up to the pull-up bar and use my core and try and keep tension on the bands without swinging. Here, I'm under tension, tighten my core. If you notice, my breathing is very verbal, and that was to demonstrate to show you that I was bracing before each rep, trying to get my air on the way down. I wasn't swinging back So I was tightening my upper back, tightening my core to keep my body at kind of that angle. So I was keeping everything engaged all the way throughout the 10 reps. That's really the most important part, is staying under tension, keeping your core engaged, and not allowing yourself to swing. If you're swinging on pull-ups or hanging leg raises or toes to bar, it's because you're not getting your core tight, you're not keeping your upper back engaged, and it's allowing you to get that momentum. Focus on that brace, focus on your core to try and minimize it the best you can. So what's going on next is this little band set up here. Very simple, one band, and it's kind of just the same motion as a battle rope, but it's with band tension. You're moving fast, you're moving explosive, and you're trying to simulate the same 30-second time frame you would for battle ropes. Or because it's bands, you can adjust the tension by going out or getting closer, or by changing the band. I have the lightest one because I'm going for time, I'm not going for reps, and I was curious as to how it would work out with it being a band, but it's been working great. All right, so basically it's pretty straightforward. You just hook it around itself on a rack or anything you can anchor to for that matter. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Pretty versatile. So all you're gonna do is walk out, and I'm gonna hold it like I'm holding ropes, right? Now you can walk out and adjust the tension how you see fit, kind of like the bandy twisty thingies that Brian does, or the Ausru twist, which is what we're gonna call them.
I didn't make it up, someone else did.
Ausru twist. But instead of that, you're gonna kind of just sit down into a battle rope position where you'd be seated and do this number. But you're just gonna do both arms at the same time, or you can get two bands and do them single arm. But I'm doing them together. So all you're gonna do is get into that seated position, walk out to where the tension is comfortable or doable for you, and then you're just gonna move up explosively and try and squeeze the top a little bit, make it a little bit harder. Now if you notice, I'm keeping tension on the whole time. I'm not letting it get loose and then grabbing into it. I'm going up, coming down, and my arms are slightly bent. I'm not locked out. Slight bend. I'm bracing and breathing just like I normally would. But you definitely get a solid burn in your front delt. A little bit, feel a little tiny bit in your biceps, but it's mainly in the shoulders and really hits kind of the similar areas. And it hits it a little bit more aggressively than a battle rope because it is band tension. Bands are bands. You guys know what bands feel like. That is all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and can use some of these things I showed you. I just want to bring you in a little bit more on my mind, where I'm at with my training and some of the things I do, and kind of where I like to be creative and make my day-to-day training more fun by kind of doing some innovative stuff like this. Someone might have already done it. I just haven't seen it. I'm not saying I came up with it. It's just I've never seen anyone do it, so figured I'd give it a shot. But that is about all I got for you guys. I'll catch you guys later in the week because I'll be putting out, we have the Lions State Classic this weekend. Brian will be doing a video. I'll be doing a road to Lions State Classic like I did last year. But until then, you guys know what the deal is. Get out there, get after it, and embrace the suck.